I was arrested for a murder, the murder of my brother-in-law. Unfortunately, we had killed my brother-in-law in 1988. We were giving them money. We had the CO in the package room. So, our visits would bring us Chinese food, and, and we were getting, we had once someone bring us a bag of live crabs. And we had words, and he sort of called me out, like, tonight, me and you in the gym. So the gym was down these steps. Now, once a guy pulls your card, you got to fight, or you're going to get creeped out. You know what I mean? So now I'm in my cell. I'm going, oh man, this guy looks like the Hulk. He's going to mess me up. He's going to F me up. This guy. I was 23 years old. I was like skin and bones. I was thin, and this guy was like, ooh. I go, this guy's going to mess me up. Oh my God. Right, so anyway, these three big black guys came running over, going like this to me: "You're dead, you're dead." And this was in '91, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And I put my back against the wall, and there was two Puerto Rican guys over here against the wall, just hanging out, because there was two phones. And the guy says to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to use the phone. I need to call my house." He goes, "You ain't using that phone." I said, "Why not?" He goes, "Because that's the black phone and that's the Puerto Rico phone." So I told him, "Where's the white phone?" He went, "There ain't no mother effing white phone down here." Now
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testa with multiple cases before the court.
All right, the famous Anthony Ruggiano Jr., the Gambino hitman. So welcome to the Incarceration podcast, and just go ahead and getting into it, man. For the viewers who don't know who you are, can you just please give us a brief summary of who you are, your past, and just your reputation and what you're known for?
My name's Anthony Ruggiano Jr. I'm the son of Anthony Fat Andy Ruggiano, who was a captain in the Gambino family. He became a made member of the family in 1953, the same year that I was born. So I grew up in the mob. I mean, all my father's friends were mob guys. I was raised by them. That's all I knew. Growing up, there was a lot of uncomfortability. In my early teens, I followed my father into the life. I got suspended from school, and he put me to work in the street in blackjack games and dice games. I started getting arrested. I started getting introduced to people like John Gotti, Charlie Wagons, Arnel de la Croce, the underboss of the Gambino family. And I started to make a lot of money with my father, and all we knew was the street. I started getting arrested. I caught my first bid in 1978 at the age of 23. I got 5 years for a robbery. I did 2.5 years. I got out of prison, continued back with mob activities. I caught my next bid in 1991. Got out of jail and continued in mob activities. But at this time, along the way, I developed an addiction to cocaine. In 1988, I went into treatment, and I got clean. In '89, I unfortunately relapsed 3 times my first year. I was making 12-step meetings, and I was in the mob, sort of like the character in The Sopranos a little bit, I guess, like Christopher. But so through the 12 steps, you're supposed to be led to a higher power. So that's why I found Christ again. But I wasn't born again. I just went back to my Catholic faith, I guess, and I started practicing that again. But I still was in the street. I still was committing crimes. My father had gotten arrested in Florida, in Miami, by the feds at this time. He got 40 years. I got clean. John Gotti was the boss of the family. I became a proposed member. I was waiting to become made. And I went to prison in '91. John Gotti went to prison also, and got life. I got out of prison the end of '92. Continued in the street, in the mob. Was making a lot of money. My father was doing a bid. I got rearrested in '95 by New York State Organized Crime Task Force. And I got sentenced to 8 years. And that's when sort of my train of thought started changing about the life I was leading, because I was on a different path. But while I was incarcerated with New York State in '96, after I took a plea, I got a 3 to 6. I was incarcerated, and I got re-indicted by the feds in Broward County in Florida. And I was transported to Florida by the marshals, and I received an additional 10 years. And sort of that started my journey out of that lifestyle, or redemption, whatever you want to call it. And I wound up doing 8 years and 3 months. While I was incarcerated, my father passed away in '99. He was a big mentor to me. John Gotti passed away. He was another big mentor to me. Tony Lee, my father's partner, passed away. So all these three men that were big mentors to me, that were all mob guys, all gangsters, had passed away. 9/11 happened. And I just started, that lifestyle started rubbing me the wrong way. You know, I'm going to, you know, I was going to church every Sunday in prison, and I just, it was just rubbing me the wrong way. But I still couldn't let go of the street. I just couldn't do it. I had one foot in, one foot out. I got released in '04. In August 31st of 2004, I got released after doing 8 years and 3 months. I got out. I was sent for by a captain in the Gambino family. They said that I was going to become a made member. They were just waiting to have the ceremony, and I didn't want. Some of me wanted to say no, and some of me didn't want to say no. It was like the devil and the angel were on each shoulder. But a week later, I guess divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, I was arrested for a murder. The murder of my brother-in-law. Unfortunately, we had killed my brother-in-law in 1988, and I got rearrested for a murder, and I surrendered, and I decided to pack it in and cooperate.
That's fire, bro. Thank you, and I genuinely appreciate you sharing that.
Yo, what's poppin', man? It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast, where I talk about prison, pre, post, and present, and how everything that I experienced throughout my incarceration has forever changed my life. This is the Incarceration. So Forever Convict family, once again, we are on the journey to 50,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so now. Share this channel with somebody who hasn't. And listen, if you've done any time, I'm talking about a county jail, state penitentiary, federal, or even drug programs, whatever. If you want to share your story on this channel, go ahead and email me at eithekingbooking. Go ahead and put your stories in the comments below. If there's anything that I talked about slightly, you want me to go more in depth on, or anything I haven't talked about at all and it's a good idea, drop it in the comments, let me know. And also remember, I am a rapper. My artist name is E.I. the King. You can find my music on all platforms. I also have another channel, YouTube channel, my official artist channel, E.I. the King. And I also have another podcast. It's called Let Me Talk Bro, where I talk more so about my life, music, ministry, and all these things. Also, I have a Patreon with exclusive content. Everything is in the description below. So listen, man, till the next time, it's your boy, E.I. the King.